What if every road trip felt less like a getaway and more like stepping onto a stage where everyone keeps performing the same broken play and no one ever forgets their lines? It happened again last Saturday morning, the same meltdown, the same shouting, the same ticking clock that somehow only seems to matter to me. We were supposed to leave at 9, but deadlines don't exist in this house. Not for them. And the moment the tension hit, I knew the script was already rolling, like someone pressed play on a recording we've all been trapped inside for decades. Why do some families cling to chaos like it's oxygen? And why does it always end the exact same way? In the mornings, the apartment always has that stale quiet right before the storm. The kind that feels like the air is holding its breath. I was dressed, packed, ready. Doing the simple adult thing, just leaving on time. But that concept doesn't exist here. My daughter, nearly 30, still moves at the speed of adolescence, drifting from task to task like she's underwater. And then there's my ex-wife, mid-50s, sharp voice, sharper moods. She can go from casual silence to detonating the entire room with one complaint. They're both slow to get ready, but somehow I'm the only one who notices. Somehow I'm the only one who cares. But the strangest part? It's all predictable. Every beat, every reaction, every argument. If anyone ever filmed us, they'd swear it was a looped clip. The same conflict, the same threats, the same tantrums. Yes, tantrums. Except this time from a grown adult who should be living her own life already. And, as usual, I was stuck in the middle, the unwilling extra in a drama I never auditioned for. The clock hit 9, the time we were supposed to walk out the door. I already knew what was coming. The footsteps, the tension, the frustration sharpening like knives in the hallway. My ex-wife stormed in first, already raising her voice at our daughter, who wasn't ready, of course. The sound wasn't even surprising anymore. It was like the boiler in an old building kicking on, loud, angry, mechanical. And my daughter snapped right back, a full meltdown. The same routine, arms flailing, voice cracking, complaining like the world has wronged her. A 27-year-old acting like a cornered child, shouting, stomping, the whole performance. Then my ex-wife made her dramatic threat, the same line she always uses like it's a nuclear button she loves pressing. Fine, fuck it, I guess we're not going. She says it every time, every single time. And yet somehow she still expects shock, still expects someone to beg her to calm down. The script continued, right on cue, and the loop pulled tighter around us. By the time we actually left, an hour late, they were both still vibrating with leftover attitude. Ironically, my daughter was ready to walk out the door before her mother. The Chaos Queen was the last one to finish getting herself together. Not that she would ever admit it. The drive started almost peacefully. 2 solid minutes before the inevitable. Before her voice cut through the car like a jagged blade. Speed up. You're driving too slow. We're never going to get there. Go around this guy. Get in the carpool lane. If you don't speed up, I swear I'm going to lose my mind. Over and over. A broken metronome of criticism ticking in my ear. The road stretched out ahead of us, but it felt like we were boxed in, trapped inside that familiar car-shaped prison with the same soundtrack playing on repeat. I kept my eyes on the road, hands steady on the wheel, trying not to respond, trying not to let it derail the day. And then, halfway through the drive, something strange happened. The shouting stopped, the complaints slowed, the atmosphere softened, not fully calm, but quieter, like the volume suddenly dropped without warning. But it didn't feel like peace. It felt like the silence right before something shifts. Right before the real truth shows itself. It hit me in that silence. The realization slid in like a shadow creeping across the dashboard. They need the chaos. It keeps them bonded. It keeps them connected. Not in a healthy way, but in a familiar way. It's their rhythm, their ritual, their twisted version of communication. The shouting isn't a breakdown, it's their language. And I'm the outsider who keeps hoping the script will change when the cast refuses to. Later that day, strangely enough, the conflict faded. No explosions, no passive-aggressive remarks, no new wars, just normalcy. The sun was out, the destination wasn't ruined. The day carried on without another meltdown. But instead of relief, I felt something else, something sharper. The realization that the whole earlier storm wasn't random or surprising or accidental. It was routine, predictable, a pattern that none of them want to break. On the ride back, the quiet pressed against me in a different way. Heavy, knowing. My ex-wife stared out the window. My daughter scrolled her phone. And I sat there behind the wheel realizing I'm the only one who feels the weight of this cycle. The only one who sees the insanity of repeating the same emotional script every time life requires the slightest amount of coordination. By the time we pulled back into the driveway, it was like the morning didn't exist, like nothing happened, like the chaos evaporated into thin air the moment it wasn't needed anymore. But I took one clear thing from the day. Some people aren't addicted to conflict. They're addicted to the feeling of being in conflict because it anchors them to the same story they've always lived. And if I don't pull myself out of that story soon, I'm going to get swallowed by it. If you've ever lived inside a cycle you didn't create, stick around. There's more coming. Subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter.